Hello everybody in Lillooet and in Lytton. I'm just going to show you today just a few things to get you started on Photoshop. I feel really awful that I can't be showing this to you in person via Bridget, but it's not working up yet, so this is just kind of the backup plan. So I hope you guys had a stellar day doing your shoots, finding some great photos, and I just wanted to sort of introduce you to Photoshop Elements. We're hoping to really get CS6 by the end because it's kind of like what I would call the industry standard software. But for now we have Photoshop Elements, which does almost everything that CS6 does, and for our purposes I think it'll be okay in the interim period. And I'm just going to give you a quick tour and just show you a few sort of basic steps that most photographers go through all the time just before they start into heavy editing. So we're just looking at basic editing today. So when you open up Elements, I'm hoping you guys can see the screen, but it should be under Desk Tools, and you're going to open up Adobe Photoshop Elements. And when you get in there, first thing you're going to do is you need to work with your pictures. I sort through all of my pictures before I put them into Adobe Photoshop, and I delete there because it takes quite a while to upload all of your Photoshop, all of your files into Photoshop, and it's a really big program, and I find it really slows it down. So I generally only open files in Photoshop that I've already sort of looked through and assessed whether they're decent pictures or not. So let's find us some pictures. So this is a picture that I took that's not edited at all, and we're just going to go through some basic things. When you get into Photoshop Elements, if you look right up here along the top where my mouse is, you have 3 different options for basic levels of complexity of what you can actually do with it. So the quick guide is what I would call the elementary school guide. These are just basic stuff. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here, but we will do some time getting to know what these things are, but outside of the quick. But if you want to just do a quick exposure, make things lighter, darker, I'd go there. Levels I'd like to try not in quick because levels are actually really important. You can adjust colors here, you can adjust balance here, you can sharpen it to try to get a crisper image here, or you could just be super lazy and just click Smart Fix. But this doesn't give you much control, and it's kind of just like the universal setting, and you're letting the software decide for you instead of making those decisions. So you can play with this today for sure. Check out everything here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in quick because I think that most of us are already at the point that we're a little bit past that, and you're senior students, so I think we can go a bit higher. So Guided, it takes a bit to load. It is a bigger program. If you see on the right hand screen, Guided gives you a whole lot more options already. So basically what Guided does is it gives you some options of touch-ups, it gives you some options of photo effects, and some photo play. We're going to look through sort of all of these at a certain point in time, but feel free to play around with it and test it out. I've been working with Photoshop for about 10 years, and I feel like I still don't know everything that Photoshop does. So don't expect to walk in and just be like, yeah, I got Photoshop, because a lot of professional photographers are still learning stuff about Photoshop. But basic adjustments, there's some really nice things in Guided that save a lot of the work for you. I use Guided a lot for when I'm doing portraiture with people because there's a few things it does that are really great. The next tab is the Expert tab, and as you can see, all of the sort of quick links just disappear when you get into the Expert tab, but you all of a sudden get a lot more control. You just get access to them up here that you might not have gotten before. Now that I've done Photoshop for so long, I kind of go back between Guided and I go back between Expert, and I sort of play between the two depending on what my edit is for that day.